seaglass and sea bits heart that we're going to be making. And I first of all just wanted to show you an example of one that's finished. It's on a watercolor paper. It's a 300-pound paper if you're thinking of making more of these on your own. And then I used acrylic paint and various textures just to roll it on, so you can play with that. And there's so many different varieties. This is another one. I used more of a spray type paint there. And on this one I used it's called a jelly plate. And this one was just a roller, and I rolled it on. So there's so many different options, but this gives you an idea of some different types of heart backgrounds you can make. So I'm going to put this one aside, and we'll go ahead and take our kit. This is the kit that you received. We'll empty it out and get all those little pieces out. There's some in the bottom there. And you'll notice that there is some directions here. So we're just going to go through the directions. It says to pour the pieces out on the table or whatever workspace you have. You'll need some glue, and I really like to use the quick seal adhesive caulk. The kind that dries clear is the best. So this cost about $5 to $6 at like Ace Hardware or one of the hardware stores. You can get the smaller one. I use the bigger one. And then you will need a couple of skewers. You can use toothpicks, something with a sharp tip, because you're going to be using that to clean off the little pieces of caulk and glue that get on outside the shells and the sea bits. So you have a little piece tag here, and that's really up to you how you want to use it. I'm going to probably punch a hole in mine and then just tie it on to the finished, so it will look something like this. Or maybe I'll hang it up higher. So could even glue it in the middle, maybe trim it up a little bit. Whatever you feel like doing with that is totally up to you. So let's go ahead and start. And the one thing, step number 2, it says to arrange the shells along the traced heart line. And so what you'll do is arrange these all the way around. And once you have them the way you like them, I like to find pointed ones for the bottom, by the way. So I put at least 1 or 2 pointed ones in each packet. So those 2 look pretty pointed. I don't spend a lot of time fussing over. I like to vary the colors and the textures. So here's a white one with a little pattern to it. And then maybe I'll do a plain one here because I want to break up it being too busy. Maybe I'll put this piece of sea glass right there and just keep filling it in. And once you get it filled in, you can go back and reevaluate. What do you like? What don't you like? Move them around as you see fit. Like, I'm not really liking these 2 pieces together, so I'm going to take that one off. Maybe stick a white one. Yeah, I like that a lot better. And I think it's time for a piece of pretty blue. Actually, I think the blue, because it's kind of shaped funny like that might be a good piece right there. So maybe I'll take that blue one, put it right here, and another shell here. Don't worry too much about how they're going together and looking. These are bits and pieces, and the bits and pieces, what I like about this is the bits and pieces are what make a beautiful whole. And in this world, there's so much brokenness that this to me represents how even broken pieces, when they come together, can make something beautiful. So, take that however you would like, but I just like the way that these form something that's so pretty and peaceful. So we'll just keep putting these pieces around. One thing is you should have more than enough, and if you don't, just move your heart shape in a little bit. I tried to give you at least a few more pieces so that you would get the full heart shape. So there, I've kind of got a little bit of a Let's see. I want that V to really show. I think that shows okay. Maybe this one might, well, let's see. Okay, and then the last piece I think I'll put right in there. So that took me about 5 minutes. I like it. I don't think, maybe I'll break these two up. We'll have to figure out where I'm going to trade the spot. And actually, I think what I'll do, I actually think I like it just like that. So there we have it. Now we're going to start gluing. To glue, make sure I'm moving this over. You're going to take and remove each piece, just pull it off to the side. Keep it in the same direction that you had it on the heart. Try to keep it as much the way that it appears on the line as possible. And then you're going to take your glue and you're just going to run that glue a little heavier. I gotta warm my glue up here, it's a little cold. And you'll get a nice line. And once you get that line on there, if you've got some pretty gap spaces in your shell, you'll want to add a little extra glue, but a lot of times you can just set it right on if it's flat, like the sea glass is flat. And so I can just put it right there. This rock is flat, but I'll add a little more. And this one has a little gap in it, so I'm going to add a little bit. And you just keep on placing those shells. This one has a big gap, so I'm going to fill that and then place it. A lot of these have gaps, so just notice how I'm adding a little extra glue in there to hold it in place. And so there's that. So you'll just keep working around until you have it all glued. If you notice there's little pieces of glue sticking out like right here, I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to take and remove that. I just lift it up. I just stick it on my finger and then wipe it off with a paper towel. So here's my paper towel. You could wipe it directly on the paper towel as well. So that's a good tool to have. So once you're done with that, you're going to take the string that was used to tie, I don't know where it went, the string that was wrapped around the bag, and then you're going to make a knot on one end, thread it through the hole that's right here, bring it around and knot the other side, and then you've got a hanging heart. You'll want to let this dry for about an hour before you try to tip it up. So just let it sit for a while because this will move with this kind of glue. If it allows for you to adjust for a few minutes after you've applied it. But I like to let it sit for about an hour before I try to move it around. So I hope you enjoy, and thank you so much for joining us. And you can check out my Instagram and message me if you have any questions. I'm at art_loft_journey, and it's on the directions as well. Have a great day.